Hey everyone, I'm Karan from Enable. Welcome back to the official video tutorial series on AbleSet. So we've already seen that AbleSet gives us the ability to play our songs in different setlist orders and determine how transitions between two songs are handled. In this video, we'll look at a few more options to build and edit your setlist. I'll also be showing you how you can save and recall different setlists easily. So with AbleSet open, I'm going to dive straight back into setlist edit mode and look at some of the options that we have here. So if you have modified the default order of your setlist, you can actually reset it back to the song order that is active in Ableton with this trash button down here, and that gets saved automatically. Alternatively, if I go back into setlist edit mode, I can also order the songs alphabetically using this button. This can be especially useful if you're using AbleSet in a function band scenario with a large repertoire and you want to navigate to a specific song by its name. In case you don't want to keep the changes that you made while in setlist edit mode, just discard them using this revert button down here. Okay, great. So we've got our song order down, but what about shortening the setlist? You can simply remove songs by clicking this X over here, and the song will then be grayed out. If I then save the setlist, you'll see that this song is not in the setlist anymore. To add songs back in, I'm going to go back into setlist edit mode and press the plus button to make it reappear again. This can be a really useful workflow because this again doesn't require any edits in Ableton Live itself. In fact, we usually would never remove any songs from an Ableton session, so you always have your entire repertoire of songs available to you. And with AbleSet, you can still navigate all these songs in an uncluttered, easy to use user interface. Speaking of which, let's check out some of these other buttons and features we haven't talked about. If you end up removing many songs like I just did, you'll end up with quite a few grayed out songs in your setlist. To clean up some of this clutter, you can click this I button down here and you'll actually hide the unused songs. This will give you a better idea of your final setlist before saving. Personally, I always like to keep this button clicked for a what you see is what you get kind of workflow. If I then need to add songs back in, I would use this little plus button down here, or I can just press the shortcut Command and K. I then get presented with this window where I can select a song or simply search for one. And this search is also really intelligent. I could, for instance, also just enter an acronym for a song or enter just one word of a song and it'll appear right there. I can also add a song directly from my normal setlist view because I have that same plus button down here. If I do this, then the song that I select will actually be inserted behind the song that I've currently got selected. At the bottom of your setlist, you've got a few global infos. AbleSet will display the total number of songs as well as the remaining time in your setlist. Back in setlist edit mode, it will show me the entire length of my setlist, and I also have a few other options over here. For instance, this stop button will globally toggle the stop behavior of all of my songs and activate this toggle right here. Keep in mind though that this also affects songs that are not in the setlist, so use this carefully. Similarly, you can use this button over here to remove all songs from the setlist to just give you a clean slate. Personally, I like using this to create an entirely new setlist, so I would remove all songs and then use the Command K option to select or type the songs that I need, and they will appear in the order that I add them in. Using the shortcut and the quick search feature, you can build your setlist in no time. If my setlist is empty like this, the same button that I used to remove all songs previously now becomes an add all songs button, so I can quickly add all my songs in the Ableton Live session to my setlist. Okay, now with all of these songs in there, let's say I just want to make a few changes to these behaviors right here, and this is my final setlist. But what about having different setlists? That's where saving and recalling comes in. You can save your setlist by going to the disk icon down here or just pressing the shortcut Shift and S. Then this window will appear where I can name my setlist and press enter to create it. By default, this setlist will get saved in your Ableton project folder, but if I go back into the save menu, I can also export it to a separate file right here. Now let me build a separate version of my setlist. I'm just going to move a few songs around, maybe change this stop behavior right here, and then save this as setlist number 2. To go back to the first version of my setlist, I can either press Shift and O or use the folder icon down here. And then AbleSet will present me with a list of all saved setlist. I can also import an externally saved file from this button. After loading your desired setlist, make sure to press save not only in AbleSet, but also go back to your Ableton Live session and save that over here. This is because your active setlist is saved with your Ableton Live session. So if you don't do this and reopen your Ableton Live project, AbleSet will instead load the song order that was active when last saving the Ableton session. Okay, next up I want to show you a simple but really useful feature. You're probably used to communicating with your bandmates about set lists in emails or group chats, and you might want to send them a new set list that you just created in AbleSet. This is actually really easy. If I go back into setlist edit mode, I can just press Command and C, and that will copy the set list to my clipboard, so I can just paste it to my group chat. And the really cool part is that it also works the other way. So let's say they send you a set list that looks something like this. I can just copy this over here and paste it right into setlist edit mode, and it will get implemented as a set list in AbleSet ready for me to save. Also notice how intelligent the song matching is handled. For instance, this is only an acronym and this is only half the song title or just a word in the song title, and AbleSet still figures out which song you mean and adds the right one for you. This is also really great if you quickly want to sketch a set list in your Notes app on your phone. Another cool and somewhat hidden feature is that you can actually get a printable version of your set list right from AbleSet. Just press Command and P, and you'll be presented with the printer dialog where you can save it as a PDF. This PDF is conveniently formatted, suitable for printout, and it looks something like this. Okay, great. So we've got our set list all set up. In the next video, I'll show you how we can actually operate and control playback during a show. We'll talk about keyboard shortcuts, mapping MIDI controllers, as well as some settings that give you more control over playback behavior. Once again, thanks for watching. If you want to try some of the things I just showed you, head over to ableset.com to get your copy of AbleSet, and check out Enable for more tips on building playback sessions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.